Have you ever laid down at night just as you're about to fall asleep and suddenly heard your own heartbeat thumping in your ear? That rhythmic whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. It's almost like your pulse is beating from inside your head. It can be unsettling, even a little strange. Well, today we're going deep into one of the most fascinating sensations in medicine. We're going to uncover exactly why you can hear your heart in your ear, and more importantly, what it really means. This isn't just some random quirk. It's your body sending you a message, and it's time we learned how to listen. This phenomenon has a name. It's called pulsatile tinnitus. Now, when most people think of tinnitus, they imagine a constant, high-pitched ringing or buzzing. But pulsatile tinnitus is different. It's not a ringing, it's a rhythm. It's a sound that perfectly syncs up with your pulse. What you're actually hearing isn't an imaginary noise. It's the sound of your own blood flowing through the vessels near your ear and brain. So why does this happen? Why can you suddenly hear the inner workings of your circulatory system? To understand this, we need to take a quick journey inside the incredible anatomy of the human ear. It's a biological masterpiece designed for much more than just hearing the world around you. Let's get into the mechanics. Your ear, especially your inner ear, is an exquisitely sensitive piece of biological hardware. Inside, sounds are transmitted through a series of intricate structures. You have the cochlea, which is a spiral-shaped, fluid-filled chamber. Within this fluid, there are tiny vibrating membranes and thousands of incredibly sensitive hair cells. When a vibration hits these hair cells, they convert it into an electrical signal that travels along a nerve straight to your brain, which then interprets it as sound. The whole system is engineered to detect even the faintest vibrations from the outside world. But here's the twist. Sometimes this ultra-sensitive system starts detecting your own internal vibrations. Think about it. Your body is a symphony of constant motion. Your heart is pumping, blood is rushing through arteries and veins, and all of that creates subtle vibrations. Usually your brain filters these sounds out as background noise. But under certain conditions, your ear can become a microphone turned inward, picking up the pulsing of your own blood. This is especially likely to happen when you're lying down, when your blood pressure is temporarily elevated, when your heart is beating harder from exercise or stress, or if the anatomy of your ear is just slightly altered. In these moments, your internal world becomes loud enough for you to hear. So let's break down the real medical causes of pulsatile tinnitus. They range from the very common and harmless to the rare but serious, which is why it's so important to understand them. First, and most commonly, is increased blood flow near the ear. Anything that makes your blood pump faster or increases its volume can make your pulse audible. Think about vigorous exercise, moments of high anxiety or stress, pregnancy, or even just running a fever. During these times, your blood vessels dilate, and blood rushes through them with more force and speed. Your sensitive ear structures pick up on this increased turbulence, and you hear that whoosh-whoosh sound. It's simply a sign that your cardiovascular system is working harder than usual. For most people, once the body calms down, the sound disappears. The second major cause is high blood pressure or hypertension. When your blood pressure is consistently high, the force of the blood pushing against your vessel walls is much stronger. Imagine water hammering through a pipe instead of flowing smoothly. This creates stronger vibrations throughout your body, including in the arteries and veins near your ears. These vibrations can become powerful enough for those delicate hair cells in your cochlea to detect them as sound. In this case, pulsatile tinnitus can be an early warning sign from your body that your blood pressure needs attention. Third, we have what's known as turbulent blood flow. In a perfectly healthy vessel, blood flows smoothly and silently. This is called laminar flow. But if the vessel becomes narrowed or irregular, the blood flow becomes chaotic and turbulent, much like a calm river turning into rapids. This turbulence creates sound. A common cause of this is atherosclerosis, where plaque builds up inside your arteries, narrowing the passage. As we age, our vessels can also become stiffer, which contributes to this effect. The whooshing sound you hear is literally the sound of blood navigating a tight or rough spot. Next, let's talk about middle ear problems. Your middle ear is an air-filled space, and it's meant to be that way for sound to travel properly. But if this space fills with fluid or becomes inflamed, it completely changes the acoustics inside your head. This can happen due to ear infections, dysfunction of the eustachian tube which connects your ear to your throat, or even severe seasonal allergies and sinus problems. When fluid is trapped in the middle ear, it can act like an amplifier for internal body sounds. making your heartbeat echo and reverberate in a way you wouldn't normally hear. Sometimes the cause is purely anatomical. Some people are simply born with an artery or a vein that runs unusually close to their ear structures. This isn't a disease or a health problem. It's just a normal anatomical variation. But because of that proximity, the pulse from that vessel is more easily transmitted to the inner ear, making it audible. It's often harmless, but it explains why some people experience this phenomenon throughout their lives without any other symptoms. A less common but important cause is something called benign intracranial hypertension. This is a condition where the pressure of the fluid around your brain increases. This elevated pressure can be transmitted to the veins in your head, compressing them slightly and creating a rhythmic sound that syncs with your pulse. This condition often comes with other distinct symptoms, like persistent headaches, vision changes such as blurred or double vision, and a feeling of pressure behind the eyes. If you hear your pulse and have these other symptoms, it's a clear signal to see a doctor. Finally, there are very rare but serious causes that we have to mention for the sake of accuracy and safety. In a very small number of cases, pulsatile tinnitus can be a symptom of an underlying vascular issue, like an arteriovenous malformation, which is an abnormal tangle of blood vessels, or a specific type of vascular tumor called a glomus tumor. It can also be linked to carotid artery disease. I want to stress that these causes are not common at all. But if the pulsing sound is getting progressively louder, is only on one side, or is accompanied by other neurological symptoms, a doctor can easily and quickly evaluate for these conditions. Now, one of the biggest questions people have is, why do I almost always hear it most when I'm lying down at night? There are 3 simple reasons for this. First, when you lie down, more blood flows to your head. Gravity is no longer pulling blood down towards your feet, so the blood volume and pressure in the vessels around your head and ears naturally increase. More blood flow means a stronger pulse, and a stronger pulse is easier to hear. Second, your environment gets quiet. During the day, the sounds of traffic, conversations, and general background noise easily mask the faint internal sounds of your body. But at night, when you're in a quiet room, those external noises disappear. Suddenly, your brain has nothing else to focus on, and that soft, rhythmic whooshing from inside becomes incredibly noticeable. And third, the simple act of pressing your head against the pillow can amplify the sound. The pillow acts as a conductor, transmitting the vibrations from your skull directly to your ear. The sound travels through the bone and tissue, making it seem much louder than it actually is. It's a combination of physiology, physics, and a quiet environment that creates the perfect storm for hearing your own heartbeat. So if you're experiencing this, what can you do to reduce the noise? Fortunately, there are several simple, medically sound strategies you can try. First, try lifting your head slightly with an extra pillow. This uses gravity to your advantage, helping to reduce some of the blood flow and pressure near your ears. Second, focus on managing your stress. Stress triggers adrenaline, which increases your heart rate and the force of its contractions, making the pulsing louder. Techniques like deep breathing, meditation, or mindfulness can have a real, immediate effect. Third, work on controlling your blood pressure. This includes staying well hydrated, getting regular exercise, and moderating your salt intake. If you have known hypertension, make sure you're following your doctor's treatment plan. Fourth, if you suspect allergies or sinus issues are to blame, treating that congestion can make a world of difference. Clearing your eustachian tube can stop that internal echo chamber effect. Most importantly, know when to see a doctor. If the pulsing sound is constant and doesn't go away, if it only happens on one side of your head, if it seems to be getting louder over time, or if it's accompanied by other symptoms like headaches, dizziness, or vision changes, it's time to get it checked out. A healthcare professional can help you find the root cause and ensure it's nothing serious. Your ears aren't just listening to the world. Sometimes they're listening to you. Whether it's a temporary echo of stress, a whisper about your blood pressure, or simply a quirk of your own unique anatomy, that heartbeat in your ear is your body speaking its own language. The key is to listen, understand, and respond. This is the Psycho Nurse making medicine simple, powerful, and unforgettable. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.